personal relationship is the way in which two people are connected, such as yourself and another person. This is about how you interact with them for better or for worse. This could be a familial person, such as a child, parent or partner, a work relationship, such as a client, colleague or boss, or a social relationship, such as a friend or acquaintance, and finally, of course, the random encounter. Each relationship can be similar or different. For example, the relationship you have with one parent may be quite different or similar to that of your other parent, or from one child to another. One relationship does not negate the other, and you don't have to have a favorite. They can just be different. In this series, we're going to examine a number of relationship aspects and the use of green and red flags as guides to health or a need for growth. Welcome to Joshua Davidson Therapy. I am Joshua. Green flags are good. They are signs of health in a relationship. We use them to highlight aspects that are building a relationship towards honesty, trust, and growth. Red flags are warnings. They are signs that things are not well and may need addressing, an area of growth. It is important to recognize that flags are not a one-for-one seesaw. That is, one green flag does not offset one red flag. A sign of a healthy relationship is that most or all of your relationship flags are green. A red flag or two indicates that your relationship needs some specific work to help it grow and become healthier. If your relationship has too many red flags, it may indicate that the relationship is not salvageable and you should be considering an exit strategy. If you are the guardian of a child, exiting may not be a viable option. Either way, seeking some professional help is a good idea. Being wrong. Everyone is wrong occasionally and everyone makes mistakes. How your relationship handles this can be a good measure of that relationship. Green flag. Admitting errors is a good sign of trust. When you can admit an error, it becomes something that can be addressed and does not mean that either person in the relationship is inherently faulty or bad. Being free to discuss problems and errors allows a relationship to be solution-focused instead of problem-focused. While it is important to acknowledge when someone is wrong, that wrongness is not weaponized as a means of control. Red flag. Someone can't admit that they made actual mistakes. That mistakes are always someone else's fault. Beware of phrases like, "you are being too sensitive," or "they deserved it." Aligning words and behaviors. An important aspect of trust is when a person's statements about their upcoming actions match the actions that they do. While no plan survives contact with the enemy for long, the essence of the effort should shine through. Green flag. A person's stated intent is matched by their actions, and when this occasionally fails, relevant feedback and discussion is had between the two parties. Sometimes that can be an update of why the outcome is different to the intent. Sometimes that is to check on what is a good outcome to aim for now that the goal is not possible. Red flag. Promises are cheap. Actions is where it is really at. A red flag is where the promises are rarely fulfilled. While adapting to a dynamic situation is important, that doesn't seem to be why this person didn't act as they voiced their intent. Irrational or nonsensical behavior can look very much like this. It can feel like the person who exhibits this red flag is saying whatever they need to in this moment to persuade you to something with no intent of actually fulfilling their promise. Or they have every intention of doing so, they just never do. Social connection. Humans are social animals, and it is very healthy to connect to people who inspire us to be better, support us when we need it, and are able to give us constructive feedback when we are behaving poorly. Green flag. Encouraging you to socially connect to good people while having an honest discussion about who might not be good and why is a green flag. Even if one person doesn't agree with a social choice because of the negative and toxic outcomes, supporting that choice anyway on a background of honest discussion builds trust. For example, while I don't think that Joe is treating you well, I trust you and your judgment. Red flag. Toxic people will try to shut down healthy relationships with those who provide rational and sound judgment. The common tools for doing this are trying to make someone regret having something to do with a positive and good person, acting out whenever a positive social connection is made, or constantly being negative about those people. The goal is to isolate you from a healthy relationship and either drive you into unhealthy relationships or keep you very separate from other supportive people. A strong warning sign is trying to drive a wedge between you and a supportive friend or family member. What are some of the green and red flags you know about? Which would you like us to explore in the next video? Comment below. Thank you for your time.